It was 1960. Brian Hyland was just 16 years old. One day he was a freshman in high school, and the next, an international teen idol. All because of a bathing suit?
It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today.
Hyland was an office boy at Cap Records. He'd never sung with a band before, but they let him record some demos. And I guess they liked it. Everybody did. And in an instant, Hyland had a hit.
Up till that point in my neighborhood, I was invisible. With all the girls and all of that, I was just another kid in the neighborhood. And then when I got on television with a hit record, so that all changed.
You weren't trying to be, but all of a sudden you become this teen heartthrob.
Yeah.
Everything is different, and you're just a teen yourself. How did you handle that?
Just one day at a time.
You loved it, right?
One day at a time.
It was every minute.
Yeah, like I said, I was invisible up to that point, and then all of a sudden everybody's lining up on my stoop for my autograph.
Itsy Bitsy did big things for Hyland. It became a million seller in just 8 weeks, and everything changed. Except for him.
I was just focused on getting another song, just getting better.
So it wasn't stardom that pulled you into the business, it was the music.
Yes, definitely.
And the hits kept coming, charting again 2 years later at the age of 18 with this.
Though we gotta say goodbye for the summer, darling, I promise you this, I'll send you all my love every day in a letter, sealed with a kiss.
And now, over 60 years after, Hyland is back in the studio doing it again.
Worries on my mind, afraid of what I'll find.
Brian, you have had some really quality music come out in the last handful of years. Very strong singles, and that's why you're here at Solar Studio now.
Yeah.
To re-record Sealed with a Kiss in a whole new way that's going to grab people.
Guess it's gonna be a cold, lonely summer, but I'll fill the emptiness.
What was it like for you, Brian, after 60 years to dive back to recreate this song? I guess recreate's a bad way to put it. You've kind of changed it and gave it a whole new vibe and feel.
Yeah, it's, well, I've been doing it ever since it came out, but this was like a whole new take on it with the arrangement.
This year, Hyland has a whole new take on life as he turns 80, which is a big deal for a former teen idol who had a hard time ever getting used to even being 70.
I would be on a show and I'd be talking to people backstage and they would say, hey Brian, how old are you? And I'd say, this is just when I turned 70. And I said, I'm 70, and I couldn't get it out hardly.
So what about 80?
I haven't thought about that one at all. It's just, I guess, but other people that I know and that I've worked with, they're already halfway there to 90, 85 or some, 82, 83, and so I'm not alone.
But they still introduce you, well, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, teen heartthrob Brian Hyland.
They say that, yes, yeah, they do.
And maybe he still is. After all, just last year, he married a woman he first fell in love with in 1964.
She's a wonderful person. She's a psychotherapist and a life coach, and we just get along perfectly.
For a former teen idol, Brian Hyland has a lot going on. He's a newlywed, updating his classic hits, recording new ones, and now in his 80s. Not bad for a guy who's only really wanted one thing in life.
I want to get up every morning and be able to play music. And however that turns out, that's okay with me.